The sound of hurried footsteps echoed through the otherwise quiet hallway of Kitagawa High School. Ayaka Sekiguchi, clutching a neatly folded pink envelope against her chest, stumbled slightly, catching herself against the row of lockers. Her breathing was uneven, partially due to the sprint from the classroom and partially from the pounding anxiety threatening to crush her resolve. It was now or never. She had spent weeks crafting the letter, poring over the right words to express the feelings that had been quietly growing inside her during their second year of high school. Reo Matsuragi wasn't just any boy. He was the boy. The boy whose presence seemed to light up the room, whose laughter felt like a melody she couldn't get out of her head, and whose small, random kindnesses seemed to leave an imprint on her heart. Reo, the class vice president whose calm demeanor coupled with his easygoing smile was like an enigma she couldn't unravel. He was everything she admired, and perhaps a bit more than she felt she deserved. Her friends had watched her struggle, supporting her with encouraging pats on the shoulders and exclaiming at her bravery for deciding to finally confess. "You've got this, Aya-chan," her best friend Harumi had said that morning. But now, standing outside the classroom where she knew Rio was helping prepare for the upcoming cultural festival, her courage was wavering once more. Fear of rejection weighed heavily on her, weaving worst-case scenarios in her mind. A burst of laughter followed by Rio's familiar voice from inside the classroom brought her back to the present. Taking a deep breath, she looked at the embossed cherry blossom-patterned envelope in her hands one last time. Inside the decorated room, students buzzed with energy, unaware of the emotional roller coaster Ayaka was riding on the other side of the door. Rio stood near a stack of banners and props, carefully examining a painting while chatting with his friends. His sleeves were rolled up, revealing strong forearms dusted with specks of paint. Every once in a while, the sunlight streaming through the large windows cast a golden glow on him, making the moment seem dreamlike to Ayaka as she finally stepped inside. "Sekiguchi-san?" Rio asked as their eyes met. He tilted his head slightly, features brightened by a mixture of curiosity and the warm, inviting smile she'd come to associate with every happy moment in the past few months. "What's up?" I... Ayaka's voice barely managed to escape her lips. She swallowed hard, gripping the envelope tighter, its edges curling slightly from her trembling hands. Her knees felt weak, and her heart clamored in her chest as though demanding to be heard. "Can I talk to you for a moment? Alone?" she managed. Rio exchanged a quick glance with his friends, who immediately began to grin knowingly, but backed off, muttering excuses about needing to check on other preparations. Quickly, the two of them were left alone in one corner of the classroom, surrounded by colorful decorations and an almost magical atmosphere that added weight to the moment. Ayaka closed her eyes for a moment as she presented the letter to Reo with both hands. To her, it was far heavier than the thin paper it consisted of. "This is for you," she said, her cheeks now rivaling the crimson of the paper flowers adorning the room. Rio took the envelope, his expression shifting from curiosity to something more thoughtful. "A letter?" Yes," Ayaka stammered. It's my feelings. I just wanted you to know." The words tumbled out of her in a rush, leaving her feeling exposed and vulnerable. For a moment, she thought she might faint from the tension. Reo chuckled softly, and Ayaka's racing thoughts ground to a halt. Was he laughing at her? Her stomach twisted until she caught the way his smile softened, the edges of his lips curving in a way that spoke of kindness rather than mockery. "Thank you, Ayaka-san," he said without hesitation. His voice was steady, simple, yet it carried a sincerity that struck deep within her. "I'll read it." He slipped the envelope carefully into his bag, as if it was something precious already. Ayaka could barely breathe. Really? You will?" she exclaimed, before immediately blanching at her own enthusiasm. "I mean, I wasn't sure if..." Her voice trailed off. You spent time writing this, right? I'd be the worst if I didn't read it, he said, his tone teasing yet gentle. His words, so straightforward, disarmed her in a way she wasn't prepared for. The sound of someone entering the room startled both of them out of the moment. One of their classmates popped their head in to ask Rio about some supplies. With a brief apology to Ayaka, Rio was gone, the barely opened window letting in a breeze that rustled the banners. Ayaka stood there, hands clasped tightly, staring after him. The days leading up to the festival passed agonizingly slowly. Every time Ayaka spotted Rio in the hallways or during the club meeting breaks, her heart would lurch. She wasn't sure what she feared most now, his response or not knowing it at all. On the day of the festival, however, her question was answered. Amidst the lively crowd and playful melodies of traditional festival games and performances, Ayaka found herself wandering through the garden, her favorite spot on the school grounds. The garden was lined with cherry blossom trees, their soft pink petals scattered across the ground and dancing in the air with every passing breeze, creating a dreamy, picturesque lair. It was there that she found Rio waiting, leaning casually against a tree, hands tucked into his pockets. Upon seeing her, he straightened up, offering the same warm smile that had haunted her dreams. "Ryo-kun," she breathed out, startled. Was it a coincidence that he was here, of all places? That thought vanished as he stepped closer, holding something in his hand. Her letter. She watched, barely moving, as he turned the envelope over in his fingers. "I've been waiting to talk to you," he began. "I hope you don't mind I asked Harumi-chan where I might find you." "No, Her voice faltered. "I don't mind." Rio chuckled. "Your letter really surprised me, Ayaka-san," he admitted. His gaze met hers, and her heart stopped for the millionth time, it seemed. "But what surprised me even more is how someone as courageous as you could think I wouldn't feel the same way." Ayaka blinked, certain she must have misheard. The world seemed to tilt as she processed his words. You feel the same?" He nodded, stepping closer until they were only inches apart. "Maybe I should have told you sooner," he confessed. "But I kept telling myself I'd wait for the right moment. Then, you beat me to it." The breeze picked up, and they both glanced up as cherry blossom petals swirled around them, painting the scene like something out of the romance novels Ayaka loved. She laughed softly, the sound shaky but warm. "I don't know what to say." "You don't have to say anything," Rio said with a quiet laugh of his own. "Just keep being you. The Ayaka I've always admired from afar." Her heart swelled. All the fears, doubts, and insecurities melted away in that one, crystallized instant. As they stood together under the cascade of fluttering blossoms, the rest of the festival bustling in the distance, Ayaka realized this moment, however fleeting, was theirs. For the first time, she truly believed in the magic of the cherry blossoms.